Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm Chris from iLather.com, and today we're going to do a head shave with Catie's Bubbles Irish Coffee. Used to be one of the best soaps in the world when it was named Bailey's, however, is no longer one of the best, but it's pretty doggone good. No, it's still great. It's better when it had the Bailey name though. Great scent on this. I still love it. It's really outstanding. This one is the luxury formula, I believe. And so this evening, this is actually Tuesday evening, I wanted to do an evening head shave. I was on the phone with the inspector, David Vernicola, and we were talking about head shaving. And so far, the cart razors like the HeadBlade and like this guy here, the Gillette Guard or something like that, have actually shaved closer than my DE. So one of the things I was discussing with the inspector is, what if I use something efficient like the Muhle R41? Let's see what happens. Let's do it. Let me go ahead and wet the dome. We'll lather up and get going. Stay tuned. All right, so let's see how we do with the R41 on the dome this evening. And I did shave my head this morning, but there's good stubble there already, so we'll see how we do in the evening. And I figured I could take more time in the evening and wouldn't feel as rushed as I might in the morning. So we'll see if this shave is as efficient as when I use the HeadBlade or the Guard or what have you. Let's work this lather a little more. I put a little more moisture than I normally put in this one because I figure I really need some good slickness, and that looks pretty good. Looks like we can certainly get by with that. I'm using the Nathan Clark 8-ball, by the way, which is an excellent brush. It is my favorite brush in terms of the way it feels, and it looks great too. One of my favorite brushes, period, I should say. Really nice brush. Okay, that should do, and let's start from the front to back. And hey, this is the R41. This is an efficient devil, as you know, and we will see how we do. And straight away, we can feel that efficiency. I can tell you that right now. Gillette Silver Blue, brand new blade in there. And I can feel that. That is for sure. It feels pretty good. It's the efficiency you expect from the R41. Nice close shaver for the face. I feel it's a little more difficult to shave your head because you're always having to adjust the angle because everything is a curve. And I'm not saying this just because I started head shaving. I'm actually, when I compare how easy it is to shave my face to the head, it is a totally different ball game, primarily because if you're using a DE razor, you are constantly having to maintain that angle or tweak it just a little bit. When you feel the angle isn't at that optimum cutting angle, what the HeadBlade does and like that Gillette Guard is, since it pivots, it sort of keeps that optimum shaving angle for you, so you can pretty much just roll it over your head and it does the work. With this, you've got to sort of adjust as you go, and the contour of your head and those curves, changes, and there's very few flat spots. So, in my view, it makes it a good deal more difficult to get close. At least that's my experience so far, although admittedly, I am a rookie head shaver. This is my observation, however. It's not splitting atoms, don't get me wrong. It's not, the most difficult thing that you've ever done. It's not like shaving your head with a straight razor, which would be very difficult. But using the DE is a little more challenging, and I think it takes more effort to get close than does the HeadBlade. Now that is just my feelings so far, but I'm barely, I'm a little over a week in. So there was the first pass. Felt pretty good. It did get pretty close up in there. I'm surprised how close that got on that first pass. Let me wet the dome. We'll go for pass 2. Stay tuned. It may turn out that I just need more aggressive razor on the head. On the face, I can get away with milder razors and they still work pretty well, but I may need a little more efficiency on the head, particularly since I'm not as experienced and not as accustomed to maintaining that optimum angle. It definitely is more difficult. I don't want to mislead anybody. On the same token, I don't want to make it seem like it's splitting atoms, because, you know, this is not the Manhattan Project shaving my dome here. It is, you know, not the most difficult thing in the world, but this is a pretty round head, so there's a lot of surface area there. So it does require a little more precision and skill than shaving your face, a good deal more, I would say. So for those guys who are head shavers, my hat and hair is off to you. I'm learning what you guys already know and have been experiencing for a long time, that, you know, it's just takes a little more effort and focus, and, you know, I'll probably get used to it over time and it will become as easy as the face. But I can say unequivocally that because of the contours and angles, it is a different ballgame. Make no mistake about it. Okay, let's go from back to front now. And one of the things also about head shaving, a lot of it is just done by feel, because you can't see back here unless you use a mirror. And the feeling, shaving by feel actually works pretty good. You can actually feel quite well, you know, what's going on there. One of the things I would say is when you're shaving your face, you sort of get feedback from audio, you get feedback visual, and you get the actual feel of the razor on your face. With the head shaving, you're missing the visual element entirely. So you're only getting the feel of the razor on about half of your head and sort of the audio. You really don't get to see how well you're doing. So again, a little bit different. And if you're not accustomed to it, you know, it can, I think, be a little more difficult. Just my feeling. There are also some spots on the head. I was talking with, again, the inspector. Some spots are just tough to get on your head. Like in through here, it's pretty tough. And the grain on my head, like here, runs upwards. On the back, it runs this way, up and down. On the front, it runs a different direction. So it's pretty wild, because the hair grows on my head, and the grain runs in 3 different directions. So it truly is a different experience. And one of the things I'm noticing here is lather's drying out a little bit. So if that is the case, just reapply. There's no need to let it dry out on you and have a bad experience. You could just slap that brush up there and get going. Again, there's absolutely no need to put yourself through a bad experience. You can revisit the puck if your soap or lather isn't right. You can go back and re-lather if it's drying out. Do whatever is necessary to get the shave to be comfortable. Because at the end of the shave, we want to walk away with it being very comfortable, close, and just have a really nice experience. So don't do anything to ruin that, like pushing a blade. There's absolutely no reason to push a blade beyond its, you know, serviceable life. When you feel it tugging, you just change it, even if it's in the middle of the shave. You're not gaining anything by trying to stretch a blade. If you're feeling like it's tugging, then just change it. There's absolutely no reason to continue to push it. All right, looks like we've got a pretty good job. I feel some spots that we're going to have to touch up. Here is one, and here's a good example of the grain running this way. So if I shave like this part of my head is this is against the grain. It's odd, because then when I get to the back, it goes, you know, up and down. So when I'm pulling this way, that's against the grain. So actually the same direction, but just a little different. Anyway, let me rinse, feel around my head for the spots, and we'll come back and do some touch-ups. Stay tuned. All right, so now what I'm going to do is grab some of this lather in my hand, and we will do some touch-ups where I'm just feeling for spots that are not quite as close as I would like. And I'm getting those spots. I'm applying lather and just trying to get those spots a little bit closer. Can feel them here and there. And this is why I say, for me, at this point in time, being a rookie shaver, it's a little more difficult to get something close to BBS. Because when I use the HeadBlade, it does a little better job of getting these spots. Like I'm just feeling a few little spots here and there. Not too bad though. Overall, I'd say this R41 was more, did a better job than I've done in the past with these so far. So overall, feels pretty doggone good. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Feels pretty smooth. Let's check behind the ears because I'm bad about missing there. That feels pretty good. Let's check back here. Thought I lopped something off there for a minute. I didn't. I felt, I don't know if it's a piece of soap or something back there. Let's see. Yeah. Pretty close. We just got one little area there, I think. And I think we're about as good as we're going to get. Yes, sir. Yeah, feels pretty good. All right. Let's rinse the dome. We'll come back and do the post. Stay tuned. And then comes the magic made by witches. Thayers Witch Hazel. And surprisingly, we made it through that shave. We did get a very nice shave. I can feel a little bit. I'm not baby butt smooth. I must say, the HeadBlade so far does a better job of getting closer with minimal effort. This shave is pretty close. I don't think it's quite as close as my HeadBlade shaves, but it is a good one. And I did manage to get through it without cutting myself, so I'm happy about that. Overall, good experience. I'm still feeling at this point that the HeadBlade's a little more effective. It could be due to my inexperience as a head shaver. That is entirely possible. You've got to consider that. But the R41 did a good job, better than any other DE I've used so far on the dome. So there is that. The soap, it's really fantastic stuff. Catie's Bubbles Irish Coffee, great scent, still a great soap, even though they took my name off it. Yeah, it's still good. Don't worry about it. Nathan Clark brush Envy Shave, excellent. Just feels like a pillow on the head. It feels better on my head even than it does on the face. And today we're just going to use a budget aftershave Pinaud Clubman. This one is vanilla, which is similar-ish to the Irish coffee. It's not a dead ringer, but there's some similarities. At least it somewhat matches. Not that it matters. Doesn't need to match, and oftentimes I don't. But today I just figured let's use some good old Clubman vanilla. Good stuff. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll post this on Wednesday morning, so we'll have a Wednesday morning head shave, and then I'll post the face shave in the afternoon Wednesday. I hope you folks have a beautiful day. Thanks as always for watching. Until next time, let's help make the entire world shape great once again.